Welcome back to another video, guys. In this video, I'm just going to use some examples of how we use Storyline. Okay, so let's start from the monthly time frame. It's very simple. We're just going to work out where we traded to. So we traded to monthly. So what's our destination? Monthly RBS, right? We traded into this monthly, and this monthly you could have refined down to an H4 and entered off there, right? So let's see what that looks like. So we know that inside that monthly wick, you have a large wick, we know that there's SNR inside the lower time frames. Okay, and remember, daily is not for entry. We use H4 or lower for entry. Okay, so daily we can refine down to H4. Okay, and there's your entry. Right, now you can wait for like rejection and whatnot, depending on your SL. Or you just take it off the top because that was pretty much your max risk unless price wanted to fly past that. Okay, so let's look back at daily. So we know that monthly is moving, and then we need to look at weekly. Okay, so like what should our direction be, right? Like we know that we have a weekly right here, and then we have this structure to the left being broken by the weekly. So we can see weekly trading right down. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see how it trades right down to the weekly RBS, but we don't enter off weekly, right? We gotta enter off the lower time frames. So let's look at daily for a second. So daily, we have a daily QM. Okay. And then we also have a daily QM right here, which is in the same line as the weekly. So what we can do next, go to H4 and look at what happens. Okay, so on H4, what do we have? QM. Okay, so you can enter like that, targeting daily. If we go to daily, because we know that if H4 breaks, then we should be targeting daily, which daily is right here. And you can see how daily comes right there. Okay, to the pip. That's also a daily QM, okay? And then we also have H1. So let's say at this time frame, when we saw structure breaking on H1, then we can buy the pullback on the QM here, okay? And take an entry there. How are we able to do that is because on H1, if H1 breaks structure, what are we trying to find? H4, right? So if we're trying to find H4, oops, we don't use RBS for that. We find H4 right here, okay? This would be our H4 low. Sorry, let me make sure that's right. This would be our H4 low. Okay, so once we had our entry on the H1, which is up here, we would be targeting that H4 low from here to here. Now we'd be paying attention for any signs of structure breaks on H1 to see if it's going to take this out. If we don't get that, then we just keep holding the trade, because then we know that H4 is now likely to break and continue. And if H4 is likely to break, then we're looking for daily, or you can look for your next H4 SNR level. If it doesn't respect it, if we don't see any breaks on H1, right, which H1 would indicate that price wants to go back up and test this H1, okay? If that doesn't happen, then we understand that price can head lower to our overall target, which is the daily. So daily to daily is now complete. Does that make sense? Anyways, back to this here for yourself, and see you guys next week.